Hello. Today I'm going to show how to modify a Black Dog Machine 22 magazine that is used with the Senior 22 conversion kit. This magazine holds 27 rounds, yet it can be hard to load once you get the magazine almost full. Modification we're going to do is going to be to add a string so that you can pull the follower out or back and make it easier to load. This magazine has already been modified. As you can see, the string is already there. First step is to disassemble the magazine. Do that, take a screwdriver or some type of punch, depress the spring keeper, and then gently slide that to the side, putting your finger in the way and being careful not to let the spring loose. You're going to pull the base plate all the way out of the magazine and slowly release the spring, pulling it all the way out. That will allow the follower to fall out. Once you have it disassembled, then take a drill a small hole in the back part of the follower. This is the front, where the front of the bullet would be. This is towards the rear. I drilled my hole where the ejector pin circle is. I don't know if you can see that or not. After you drilled the hole, you simply take a piece of thin cord. This is a center strand out of a piece of paracord, and you tie it through the hole. You then want to drill a hole in the base plate. When you drill that hole, you want to make sure that it's about in the center of the square part right there. Now comes the tricky part. You now have to reinsert the follower and thread the string. This can be a little bit tricky. It took me a little bit of time to figure out. First, take the follower, reinsert it into the magazine. Then have to take the string or the cord and thread it through the base plate slot. As you can see, it's threaded through the slot. Then, with your base plate in the orientation that it will wind up in, you want to thread that cord through the hole that you've drilled. Then thread the cord back through the base plate slot. Like I said, this is the tricky part. Oops. There we go. So now it's threaded through your base plate. Then you want to pull on this as you reinsert your base plate. You want to make sure that it's flipped in the right orientation so that it's coming from the follower through what will be the inside of the base plate to the outside of the base plate and then back through. Reinsert it now. As you can see, it's in there. Now you pull that back, take your spring retainer, slide it back in. The older magazines, the follower has square lugs, and it's hard to get sometimes to get the spring to seat on the follower. Newer models have a taper. If you have an older model, you can take a Dremel tool or carefully take a grinder and you can bevel that yourself. And now I've created a mess. And that means I'm going to have to we go. Anybody who's dealt with magazines or magazine springs knows you gotta be careful with these little jokers, or you will lose parts and never find them again. Let's see, my cord's hung up, so it's not letting my follower fall all the way back through. There we go. Slide that back in. Pops into place. And the mod, if it's done correctly, is now finished. To load, you simply pull this out. Hold it with the thumb. Now you can easily insert rounds into the magazine. You want to start off with just a little bit of space at first, maybe even load 5 rounds. As it gets full, pull it out a little bit farther, insert a few more rounds. Eventually it'll get to 27 rounds. A lot of times it's handy to chart a little bit to make sure that your bullet has the right rampion so as not to create a jam. And that is how you do an easy load modification on a Black Dog machine, 22 magazine. I hope that was helpful.